Over the last couple weeks, we watched the mainstream media try and discredit this movie every chance they get. Everything from calling it a QAnon conspiracy to denying any of this happens to slandering the actor in an attempt to get people to not watch this movie. But the reality is, this movie, by word of mouth alone, is doing #1 in the box office, even after a couple weeks, and is actually competing with the new Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning movie. Even with a top star like Tom Cruise, The Sound of Freedom is killing it in the box office. Angel Studios' Sound of Freedom sees box office grosses increase in its second week. Angel Studios' The Sound of Freedom film did something one hardly sees at the box office anymore. It saw its second weekend grosses increase over its premiere weekend. In a press release, the distributor announced that Jim Caviezel-driven film grossed $27 million in its second week, an increase of 37% from its opening weekend. And I just said it, and I'll say it again. This movie literally has nothing but media backlash and word of mouth doing everything to keep it alive. So let's jump over to the numbers. Domestic box office, $85.5 million. And this movie did only cost like $14 million to make. And sat on a shelf for 5 years. The reality is they didn't want this movie to get out, and someone finally said, just do it, see what happens. And it's blowing everything out of the water. And here we can see last Friday and Saturday, $7 and $10 million. And it dropped off for Sunday, but it's still $9.2 million. And let's compare that to the new Mission Impossible movie that just released to a domestic box office of $80 million. Sound of Freedom definitely cut into that $80 million because people are choosing to see it over Mission Impossible. And that's with Tom Cruise backing it. The Mission Impossible series have always done great. Now, of course, when you add in the international box office, Sound of Freedom doesn't have that, but it is blowing it out of the water. So, being realistic about how the movies are doing, this is where they're at. So I guess my question for y'all is The Sound of Freedom going to push in for another third week ranking in the top box office? And how much staying power do you think Mission Impossible has? But guys, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know. Make sure you drop me a like. And I will catch you guys on the next video.